I think what we should do is I'll let you two get this out of your system. Let's just do this. And then I'll give you a little bit of a why I unabashedly love this movie.
You want to go, Frank?
I just think it's so shit language. I don't even know.
Okay, come on, you're better than that.
Let me collect my thoughts. Greetings, pals.
Greetings, pals.
Oh, that's a nice sound. Greetings, pals.
Hey, welcome to the podcast Throwing the Power. My name is Frank.
My name is Marcus.
My name's Tom. You pretty much were there with that. I wasn't sure if you were going to forget the order. It's good to have you back, Marcus. How are you going?
Hold on. Let me do the intro. We'll circle back to Marcus.
He's got excited energy.
Very nice.
Yes,
it's very good. Yes. Welcome to the podcast Throwing the Power. My name is Frank. This is the podcast Throwing the Power. Love it, I hate it, we debate it. I forgot what I'm doing.
You almost did the intro again.
Shit. Love it, I hate it, we debate it. It being movies. And yes, Big Dog Hen is back. Wait, is that your name?
That's right.
Hen.
It is now. It's Big Dog Hen. Big Dog this moment.
Big Donkey Dong Hen.
Very different energy coming back after. It's only been, like 6
years?
Episodes, maybe?
Yeah.
You're noticing that we're happy to see you, which must feel weird.
It'll be short-lived.
We are sick of each other's faces, that's absolutely for sure.
No, this is lovely. It feels like it's been quite a while. So
it has. I feel like I'm back in the Stone Age. Wait, is the last time we saw Marcus?
The last time we saw him was the Stone Age.
So that's a great reference to the movie we're doing today, which you might have seen as you clicked on the episode. We're doing the 1994 air quotes classic, The Flintstones.
Wow, air quotes classic.
Air quotes classic. 5.1 on IMDb out of 10, which is interesting. But
which is one of its better ratings across
33
different metrics. That's pretty high.
I rented this on Google. I paid money to watch this. Thanks, Marcus. Great pick.
Too.
Yep,
I did too.
Well, actually, I think the good thing about this one is you pay bones to watch this, and Little Rocks. Like they will accept that as currency if you have those.
That's good. And I'm a billionaire when it comes to rocks.
You weren't stoned when you watch it, were you?
Oh, hey, that's
if only.
Slander. I feel like the jokes would land a lot better if you were stoned.
Yeah. That's true.
We're off to some rocky footing from the get-go.
By stoned, we mean bashed in the head with a rock over and over, yes. Right? That's what we mean.
The biblical stoned to death. So on this podcast, we rate films out of 11, actually, which is great, and I think it's fun, and there's some history and lore around that, isn't there, Thomas?
Yeah, but do you want me to get into the history and lore of it, or do you just want me to say why for this?
Let's do both. Let's do both. You absolute,
this is the one I'll say for this.
Demon.
I think it is interesting that without any prompting, you mention the history and lore when I'm like, this might be the end of it. This actually could be a point where we go, were the 11s fun? Was it something we move on from? Watching this movie made me feel this way, because I don't think we can do this one out of 11, in my thinking. I think we can do it out of 11 stone, maybe. We could try that instead, just for this one.
Nice.
Maybe a little bit.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would be glad. I would be glad to scrap the 11.
As a majority of the puns.
This is the thing. We actually should scrap the 11. Let's ask the listener. We'll go to a poll on our Patreon, which doesn't exist yet. And should we scrap the 11? It's a great question. Okay.
Shout your name. I think when we have 11 listeners, we can do that. Okay.
Shout your name if you like this film.
Marcus! Oh! I thought, damn it.
Were you worried he was going to do this, Frank?
I wanted to simmer just a little pause.
I swear to fucking God, if Marcus comes in and he goes like, this kind of sucks, 3, I'll be like, what? Why did you do this?
Yeah, so for the listener, if you haven't gathered, Marcus picked this film. Okay. It's a classic in his childhood. It was a classic in my childhood. I think I watched this a few times.
Hear me when I say it was going to be this or it was going to be Wild Wild West. And be grateful.
Well, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about in both films. Should we quickly run through the history of the Flintstones or a synopsis of this film?
Hanna-Barbera, it's a cartoon. It's about cavemen.
Yeah.
And we move on.
Yeah, but they're also set in the 50s.
It premiered in the 60s, which is I just want to give as like a reference point that I found crazy, because I knew this was a long time after the Flintstones that this movie was made. But the gap is, if you imagine The Simpsons premiered when it did, which was 89, basically 90, ran for 6 seasons, and then they made a live-action movie last year. That's pretty much the same thing that happened with it. It was 34 years later.
Wow.
The show had been off the air for 28 years.
So
it's insane that this movie got made.
So the appetite, we know the appetite was
It was
there.
Right. It was right.
Everyone was like, give me a Flintstones movie.
Just when Flintstones happened, crested.
I don't think it's unrealistic to see IPs being revitalized in this day and age. Like, it's
but then it was weird.
Yeah,
it was incredibly weird. Yes, for people to be like, we're now having nostalgia for a 60s cartoon that everyone in America and kind of Australia grew up with because it was so syndicated. Like everyone's, even though they only made like 160 episodes, they just showed them again and again and again.
They did.
So,
and I feel like they're all blurred into one. And then they blurred it into one big film. I think the reason
I'm feeling a negative energy coming from
maybe we should do our numbers.
Let's do some numbers. I'll start. It's a 4. Okay. It's a 4 for me.
I am spot on with. I'm on a 4.
A 4.
As well.
Okay.
Exactly.
Two 4s.
Marcus, what would you like
Still put together, I suspect lower than your score. I suspect you're going to give this more than an 8.
This is an 8.1.
Okay. Yes, okay, good.
Just
played the game very nice. 8.1, Marcus. Okay.
8.1.
I'll give you some context.
That's not low.
So I watched this last night, right? Rented it, put it on. I laughed the entire way through this film. I laughed from start to finish. The terrible jokes at the start, the Gorge Lucas showing Tar Wars at the drive-in, all the puns. Steven Spielrock,
which I think I knew that joke was coming. Maybe one of you guys texted me that.
Marcus did.
I can't remember.
Marcus put it in the group chat.
You put it in the group
Spoiler
chat.
alert.
Spielrock.
But he's the only reason this film got made. And like he met John Goodman, right? And he went, well, I love the Flintstones and you look like Fred, so let's make a movie. That's it, right?
Like they literally, because John Goodman was in Always, which was Spielberg's movie from the 1990. And it sounds like literally at a table read, Spielberg was like, just so everyone's aware, he's going to be Fred Flintstone in a movie. And John Goodman was like, fuck, I am? Like, and he's just fully like, I didn't want to do it. But Steven Spielberg had anointed me and basically said, the movie doesn't get made if you're not in it. So he was like, fuck, I have to do it.
But
so
out of all of it, he is the ultimate casting. He is perfect as Fred Flintstone.
It's too perfect. It's the right casting. Yeah. I agree with Marcus and I were saying on the phone the other day, like someone would have been fucking arrested if they tried to make this movie without it being John Goodman. Who else was it going to be?
Yeah.
But does it work?
Does the film work?
I mean,
reasonable
nowadays,
people could disagree.
I'll save it for my recast, but I see there would be a couple of options nowadays. But back then, no one.
No, he was the man. He was the man. And I think like, because say what you will about the film, it's ludicrous.
I wonder, when did Belushi die?
Belushi was considered for this. Or everyone who was considered was pretty much
Jim
told
Belushi?
they were not fat enough.
John, come on.
Belushi.
You mentioned fat. John Goodman is absolutely stacked in this. He looks so huge in a good way.
Yeah, I don't think he
Muscular.
looks...
Big arms.
He doesn't look notably fat. I think that he is just... If you're going to ever say that someone's big boned, I'd believe it when John Goodman said it.
But he's also a guy who became, I think, much better known for being a large dude after this. Even when he was cast as Fred Flintstone, we were like, well, that's a big guy. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell is fat in this. It's insane to go back and watch this and be like, people would have gone, oh, there's the chubby girl.
Classic.
When she just looks like a person. And the woman, Elizabeth Perkins,
I think she looks great.
I think Rosie O'Donnell looks amazing in this movie.
Rosie O'Donnell is amazing in this movie.
Is the other actress, is that true, who plays Wilma? Elizabeth Perkins.
Elizabeth Perkins, yeah.
Correct.
You're just like, yes, like, looks very skinny comparatively. Yeah. But yes, it is that thing we always talk about with like weight standards and whatnot. But yeah, Goodman is, I think, kind of, it feels like he was spat out of a machine to play Flintstone. But
and then it was Dana Carvey as Barney as well, let's not forget.
Who was going to be Barney?
Dana Carvey?
Yeah. Is that who you're saying was going to be?
Yeah. When did...
Yeah.
What?
Oh, right. This is just a bit. It's actually Rick Moranis.
It's Rick Moranis looking like Dana Carvey playing Barney Rubble, I think.
Sure, I think.
Yeah, I mean the blonde wig. I guess.
The scary thing about Dana
You don't
Carvey,
see that?
I think when you watch almost any movie, you could be like, Dana Carvey could be Dana Carvey. I mean, like he could be fucking with us.
I don't know if
He
you
is
know
the
this.
master of disguise.
I was
Yes,
just
when
about to say, yeah.
You know the bald dude from Barry, who was also in Superman? You know the guy I'm talking
Lex
about?
Luthor?
You look at him, you're just kind of like, that's Dana Carvey, right? Like he's going to one day just walk on stage and be like, I made a character up. It's this guy with alopecia.
That's good stuff.
That's classic.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth Perkins is weird. She plays Wilma in this. She's one of those actresses that you know from everything, right? Like
And
you just
yet,
but yet nothing.
It's
like what's her name?
100% had that exact same thing. Marcus and I on the phone the other day. Marcus, you were going, oh, she's like a sitcom mum. She was in a lot of stuff in the 90s. She's redhead. And when I looked at a photo of her, I was like, I know exactly who that is. I couldn't tell you a single thing that she's in. But like I've seen her a million times.
I literally looked at her credits
thing
this
with-
morning and I still can't remember them.
Yeah.
The funny thing with Elizabeth Perkins is that her name, for some reason, was far more famous than her.
Yeah.
People knew
Yeah.
Elizabeth Perkins, but they could never place why or where.
But yeah.
But she's like Margot Martindale. She's a working character actress, but also, leading lady.
I think put a bit more respect on Margot Martindale's name. Like, Margot Martindale is the preeminent character actor.
No one knows Margot Martindale unless BoJack Horseman
But now they
comes
do
along.
because of BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, but that's
and
not
they
her.
know her.
That's Will
Yes, it
Arnett's
is.
star power.
Yes,
bringing
I
her in.
I would argue. I would say that Perkins is probably the weaker of the cast, without a doubt in my mind.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of watched this movie and go, what the fuck? Who cares, right? Like, I don't know if there was
little bit.
I didn't have a power ranking watching this. I was like, I think everyone's doing what they can.
I think what we should do is I'll let you two get this out of your system. Let's just do this, and then I'll give you a little bit of a why I unabashedly love this movie.
You want to go, Frank?
I just think it's so shit language. I don't even know.
Okay,
Here's
come
the
on,
thing.
you're better than that.
Let me collect my thoughts.
Why is it shit?
Because it's really hard to define because it's funny. You could say it's technically well made in terms of the props and the world. It's literally a Disneyland set. It's massive. It's all practical. The dinosaurs look great.
We love Pirates of the Caribbean as well.
Yes.
For the same reason.
It's all Jim Henson puppets who look funny and sound funny. It's just kind of... it just tries a little hard, I guess, would be my problem with it. It's just like every effing line is a pun or is a dumb joke or is a stereotype or something based on the original. I just found it a little insufferable and yet chuckled the whole way through. Like, when...
So why is that?
Because the jokes are dumb, and I'm dumb. I think it's just like cool. I mean,
Well,
you
Tom
guys,
and I are not disagreeing with any of these points.
you guys know how I watch films. Is I let it wash over me. I let it happen. I'm not thinking far ahead. But I was in a silly mood, and like when Kyle MacLachlan gets bowled over by Twinkle Toes Fred Flintstone, it's like run, just step to the side, you idiot. But it's like no,
Zigzag, Rickon.
literally, it's like running away from a crocodile. I just found it. It's funny. It's a funny movie, and I think it's shockingly bad for some reason.
Can you...
Let me-
I mean, for
I'll come.
such a popcorn cinema guy that you are, can you not have just enjoyed the fact that this was a film that you just laughed all the way through? The thing is, I think that
maybe.
you've subconsciously enjoyed this, and there's something about you that's inherently just wanting to hate it.
If there's anyone in this room who's going to be like, "Nah, I liked it. I don't care," it's going to be me. I just got to the end and I was like, okay.
Yeah. The problem for me...
I guess that's over. It felt like an SNL sketch. It felt like just a bunch of jokes back to back to back to back.
Put. I think it felt like very quickly just kind of like this has sketch energy. We put as much references to it as we can, the original material. Characters can't matter. We don't have time in a sketch. And then when you realize the sketch is 90 minutes, it's like, we technically have time, but who gives a fuck? Like, we're not going to... And coming to the Flintstones movie and looking for a moving character study or like good human relationships is like going to the strip club looking for a fax machine. Like, you're just not going to get what you need.
Imagine if Zack Snyder made this and like tried to make it dark and gritty. You'd be like, this is the wrong spot for it.
Or Spielberg actually made it. Spielberg actually was like, let me take a crack at this and I'm going to make it heartwarming. And I'm like, I don't think... There are limitations to everything in this world, Stephen. And I just don't think you were going to get there.
I think he could, though. If you do a little bit
gotten
less...
closer. I mean, Brian Levant is a name that rings out amongst the annals of
more
cinema.
Like,
we
more like
obviously
Brian
love this.
Savant.
Go on.
Oh, he's a bad director. Is that what savant means?
Well, no, a savant is
no,
more
I'm kidding.
like
I know this. I'm a savant.
I see. Right. And yes.
I savant to suck your blood. It's
savant.
like a vampire thing.
It's like a vampire thing.
Sorry.
Go. In an episode about the Flintstones, he does a vampire pun.
Well, I'm inspired for the puns. There's a lot of puns here.
Okay.
I can't recall a single one. My brain is a big rock.
The Avrock lady instead of Avalon.
Good.
Avrock. At which point, I kind of... So I didn't laugh the whole way through, but the moments where I was kind of going near the end reminded me of, just very, very briefly, there's an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa foresees her marriage to a British man in the future, and the British man has to introduce his parents to Homer, and he's dreading it. And when he does, Homer just says something very innocuous about Octopussy, and Hugh, the British man, goes, yes, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. And basically that was my attitude near the end of the play. So someone made a rock pun, and I was like, I guess that's okay. Yeah, this is fine. I'm not losing my mind. Like, I just kind of had to go with it. Whenever there wasn't a rock pun, I was confused. Do something with Taxi. I guess all I could think of was Roxy, and then I gave up. But, like, why is a taxi just called a taxi? Spend a day on that. Throw some money on that. And, like give it something. It just feels like everything should be a rock pun. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
no?
so
am I alone on this?
No, I don't.
Do you think they didn't go hard enough on the rock puns?
I think by the time there were things that didn't have rock puns, and they, like, the taxi had taxi as the sign, and I'm like, that should be called something else. No. I'm sorry, if we're in fucking Bedrock, everything... They had a Bruce Springsteen album, LP, that you get half a second to look at, and it's called Bruce Springstone. Everything is fucking stone or rock in this world. And the taxi should be something.
Or because the B-52s appear from, Love Shack fame, and they are the BC 52s, obviously, before
That's absolutely
Christmas.
Brilliant. 10 out of 10. Love that.
They're the best. They're the best
on screen. Kind of one of the best parts of the movie.
Twist!
Yes, when someone says, "Hey, I'm here in Bedrock, and I'm gonna
and she's
dance."
Like, "Yeah, we got it."
It's a confusing premise from both of you, because I feel like one of you or both of you is at points saying that the film was just far too much, and then you've got Tom saying, you know what, if you're gonna go all in.
I think go all in because by that point, I'm counting like the tiles on the wall where I've been imprisoned by a serial killer and I've got nothing to do. And if I just notice like something out of place, I'm like, why the fuck is that like that? Like when I'm watching the Flintstones, I'm like, why isn't everything rocks? I did not have Frank's experience. I mostly was flabbergasted that this movie was meant to be entertaining. Like my entire experience of it was every few minutes being like, what am I meant to like here? What am I meant to be getting out of this? I very rarely have.
You have given it a 4, so what?
Yeah.
Look, a couple of things that I'm just rereading the plot to remind myself as to what happened, because it's hard to stick.
I can tell you. You don't have to read it. I can tell you.
But it's an idiot plot anyway, which doesn't matter.
It's a very simple plot.
Swap the test. Barney swapped the test, and then Fred gets successful. But how did Fred have money to loan to Barney in the first place? How did he have savings?
Like, that's one thing which is weird, but my other thing is, if the plan of Kyle MacLachlan is to get a stooge to sign things that he won't read, why would he get the smartest guy? Why wouldn't he get the dumbest guy?
Why do we get the dumbest guy?
It makes no sense.
He should have hired Fred Flintstone based on his
Barney,
results.
1, is secretly a genius. Doesn't make any sense. But 2, swaps the tests. And because when I'm watching them do the test, I'm thinking, oh, Fred's going to be an idiot and that's why they'll hire him. But no. They think he's a genius. And
but then...
Stupid.
But then why do they fire Barney because he's so stupid?
Yeah. Like, and and they're gonna fire all of them, and it doesn't matter. The whole plot where it's just like, this is a family movie from the 90s. Are kids sitting there going like, oh no, Fred Flintstone's gonna embezzle funds? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, is anyone enjoying this plot on that level? Halle Berry, God love you. Like, every time she was on screen, I did have an answer to what is meant to be entertaining me here. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm entertained. Like, I love Halle Berry. Her whole essence is great. Every time she was on screen, she was wearing like 10% less clothing.
Her and MacLachlan are very good as the deliciously evil, very tanned, great arms. I'm talking about MacLachlan here. Just like, hey, I'm rich and I'm terrible. And here's the thing.
I think he's good.
I know him mostly from... I forget her name. Charlotte's husband in Sex and the City.
Sex and the City.
Where he's the most boring character of all time on purpose. And I said to Luce, I was like, why is he so funny in this? Like, he's so like, he's just doing silly stuff. Is he funny? And she was like, yeah, he's meant to be boring in Sex and the City. I was like, that's That made me mad about him in general. And
his
then I guess
casting
that
in Sex and the City, which is a show I've never seen, is stunt casting because he's the weird David Lynch guy from Twin Peaks and from Blue Velvet and like known for being an all-American looking boy who's got a weird sinister edge to him. And so when I found out they cast him in Sex and the City when I got older, I was like, oh, he must be doing like a Patrick Bateman thing in that. And Kath tells me like, no, he just like can't get hard.
He
like,
has erectile dysfunction and he's in love with his mum still. Like he's too close with his mother.
So too close to home for all of us. We can't watch that show.
Yeah, some of us. No comment. No comment. Wow.
No comment.
Well, Marcus,
getting off Kyle MacLachlan. Sorry,
I'll get on Kyle MacLachlan. Marcus, do you want to tell us why you love it? Tell us the history with it. Tell us your childhood.
Do you remember how old you were when you first? Did you go see it at cinemas? Probably not.
I saw it.
So in 95, I would have been 5. Yeah, we would have been 5.
At the end of the year,
yeah. Look, here's the thing. You both make really, really good points. And
Thank you.
I'm in a position where I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. This is one of those rare films. It's a unicorn in my repertoire where, again, I just kind of love it. I find it so endearing. I find it so silly and so camp. I find myself grinning all the way through because I think that is, for a film that feels like what was before, they made a big deal about Pirates of the Caribbean being like, hey, we Hollywood producers have decided that we're going to make Disneyland theme ride a feature film. And that was big news then. This to me was ahead of its time in saying, let's take that thing that people have a nostalgic sort of affinity for and give them exactly what they expect with that on screen. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. The casting, I think, is top tier, really. I think that Rosie O'Donnell, to me, is one of those actresses that people always forget about. I think she's actually very underrated. I think I could name more than a handful of films where she's actually really good in it. Even though I don't think she has a reputation for being all that great. Historically,
she's had a weird last 20
Name 2 other films besides the voice in Tarzan
and League of Their Own,
which
she's amazing. She's amazing in League of Their Own.
I've forgotten the name of the film. I only watched it the other night as well. It's her and Christina Ricci, and it's basically the female Stand By Me. It was a big deal at the time.
Stand By You.
All I could think of
that's it.
was...
That's the one. Stand By You, yeah.
Right. All I can think of was the Christina Ricci movie where she secretly got a snout. And I thought maybe it might be that one. You guys remember that one?
No, I don't.
Look, I don't disagree with Marcus while also having a toe in the water with Frank of like, I don't think I know Rosie O'Donnell from a lot. If you ask me to name the 3 things, this, Tarzan, and League of Their Own, she's not my problem in any of them. She's really great in 2 of those. She's so good as Turk. I truly forgot she was in Tarzan.
She's so good in
Tarzan.
Yeah, she's so good in Tarzan.
But she's so good at League of Their Own.
Yeah,
she's
as Doris.
She's fine.
John Goodman, to me, is, again, he is perfect casting. I think he's great. I think this is a really great time for him to sort of be a goofball and do whatever it is. The thing with John Goodman and his career, and I don't know what you're going to unpack in your Butler's Pantry, Tom, but arguably I would almost say he's a better voice actor than he is on-screen presence at times. I love his voice work. If you think about Monsters, Inc., for example, or Emperor's New Groove, anything else that he's done, whenever he's doing voice work, it's always engaging, it's fun, and he's got that really fun side that we all love. He's kind of really America's dad, really, if you really unpack it. If there's a guy that I just want a big cuddle from, it's John Goodman.
The fact that he can play Pacha in Emperor's New Groove and then Sully, and also like think of him in Community where he's like he runs the air conditioning school and he's like, I'm gonna do, and he goes like that incredibly 100%. Low. Also,
not to get think of him too ahead of ourselves here, really quick. We are literally going to talk about John Goodman.
We'll talk about him next week. That's fine.
But I just want to have an episode. We don't want to blow the John Goodman. No. Everything you guys are saying.
You don't want to blow John Goodman. Okay.
I do want to blow John Goodman. I'm sorry. Well, we now spoiled that episode where I blow John Goodman.
John Goodman, amazing Fred. Now, Rick Moranis as well. I love Rick Moranis. Unapologetically, I don't care what he's doing. If he's on screen, there's something about him that just makes me smile. Yep. And I go, I'm in no matter what's happening right now. It's goofy, it's silly. You know what to expect with Rick Moranis. Elizabeth Perkins to me is a bit of a wild card. She's just sort of thrown in there. I think she looks great as a Wilma. I think she's very good casting as a Wilma. I think she's just a bit flat in terms of comparative energy when we're looking at Rosie and Rick and John in that stacked sort of quadruple that it is.
And also, right? Wilma is she's the normal one, right? Really? If you look at the character,
she's the closest to a straight character out of the four.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
she's the straight
right, absolutely.
She's kind of boring.
The thing is, again, you know my affinity for and my love for practical effects. You know I love this. You know I love bring in all the Jim Henson puppets. Bring them all in. Bring in silly quips and characters and one-liners and dumb stuff like that. I'm not watching this film to be Goodfellas. I'm watching this film because I know it's going to be a dumb Flintstones family adventure. I want it to be that theme park ride. I want it to be fun. I want it to be colourful and pop. The sets are incredible. It's what I love so much about Spielberg's Hook for the same reasons. They've got these big practical lived-in sets that look like a theatre set almost, and I'm okay with that because it's not trying to hide it from you. It's just giving you everything. It's giving you these rocks that are basically textured plastic. Yeah. They know we know. We know they know. Like, it is what it is.
This might be one of my little problems. It's like, yes, the sets are practical and massive and, you know, they look from a distance great. But then you get into, like, you see the weight of things and you know everything is actually plastic or polystyrene, and you're like, okay, so the stunts at the end where they're doing the big catapult ride and trying to like break up the conveyor belt thing, I'm kind of like, it just looks a little bit cheap. And this might be a wrong comparison, but you know when you're at Disney World and you're like, oh my gosh, that actually looks like a real mountain or a real castle or whatever it is. Like it feels more tactile. And I know you're in the real world, but like this felt a little too cheap and fake. Like,
sure,
it's based on a cartoon, sure, but I wish it had a little bit more Zack Snyder grittiness, a bit more darkness and real.
You know how we always talk about suspending suspension of disbelief?
Yeah.
In this sense, I think that you need to, you really need to adopt and put those rose tinted glasses on for this one. Remember the time that this was made. Remember who it's for and its audience.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was meant to be anything more than that. And I think that a grittier version would be just wrong.
Well, you know, I don't actually mean gritty, but I just mean like I wish things had physical.
There was a lot of grit in this movie. I thought in Bedrock, like I thought almost too much sometimes.
I know what you mean.
Can I say something controversial?
Have a bit of weight.
Well, actually, before we do that, this movie was made by on a budget of $34 million. Is that right? And made like 360.
Yeah, I think it's the sixth highest grossing movie of 1994. Like, it was a big movie.
Did well
for what it was.
Did very well. I want to say something controversial. And how do you guys feel about Bill Murray?
He's not
Bill Murray.
You go first, Marcus.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
No, it's all right.
I love Bill Murray, but he's a very problematic actor a very problematic person.
His personal life aside, whatever. But
okay,
do you think he's funny?
Aside,
do you think he's funny?
I think he's funny in the right context.
Sure. See, I don't think
you can use Bill Murray in everything. I think you have to be very particular about how you use him.
Yeah,
you don't think he'd be a good Fred Flintstone?
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
I find Bill Murray almost always funniest when he's playing himself and weirdly moving when given the opportunity. Like, I know it's such an obvious pick, but like Lost in Translation's a fucking incredible movie, and it's weird how funny he is at being a sad sack in that. Mm-hmm. He's really good in Zombieland. Like, that's honestly, I know, so silly, but that's one of my favorite performances of Bill Murray. Him just kind of walking into a room and being like, I'm Bill Murray. Like, let's smoke weed together.
My favorite film from him would be Stripes.
Never seen Stripes.
Bill Murray.
Sure. I haven't seen a lot of those classic 70s, 80s ones.
Yeah,
I've seen Ghostbusters. You know.
I just don't think he's funny, and I don't like Rick Moranis.
So that's where you were going with, like, Rick Moranis is the wrong flavour for you.
Absolutely. I'm just like, you are just... And I feel bad. I watch him and I go, I should like you. You know, you're like, you're Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You're this. You're Little Shop of Horrors. Like, you're kind of in my world, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just don't care for him at all.
This is a tricky one because every time he's on screen, I'm the most engaged.
So that's,
because it's Rick Moranis. And so every time he went... I would go, and
he's
every single time.
I think he's good. I think he becomes Barney Rubble. He transforms. He's a good performer. I just am not. I don't endear myself to him in any way. I just find it really like...
And that's a tricky sell. This is, again, we've talked about this time and time again with these films where if you don't buy into the concept, you're not in from the get-go, or you're not particularly invested in an actor or a prominent figure in the film, it's a hard ride from start to finish.
Absolutely.
And you get a lot of Barney.
You do get a lot of Barney. He's the emotional center of the film.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that really hard, and I feel guilty about it. So just want you guys to know that.
He's the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids to me. I've always been very had a lot of weird affinity for him for those roles, or that role in that series. Mm-hmm. I don't really think about him much outside of that, because I was never a big Ghostbusters guy. I never really. What's his other big role, Rick Moranis?
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, which I know he's Darth Helmet, and he's kind of funny in that, but I've only seen that a handful of times. He was never a huge deal to me. I see, he's just got a goofy, sort of thing that I find, lightly endearing. But
I do find his
Little Shop of Horrors for me is sort of the pinnacle of Rick Moranis, I believe. I love that show. I love him in that as well. Yeah. And hearing that...
Is he Seymour?
He was Seymour, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he had quit acting, he decided to spend time with family, and he was done with Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's returning for Spaceballs 2, which is big news.
Yeah, well.
A big deal.
Huge.
Again, I get that he's not for everyone. So
that's the thing.
That would make it tricky for you.
But then you hear his story. So for those who don't know, for the listener, he retired basically in 1997. He did Flintstones and he did one or two other things and sort of tapered out. So I think Flintstones was his turning point. He was like, I'm probably going to retire soon.
His wife died, so he
it wasn't the Flintstones turned him off?
Well, I think both were tragedies in their own way. But
Absolutely.
I think the wife's death was slightly...
Was that a joke?
Yes.
That would be crazy.
So his wife passed away. He retires from acting, and he takes care of his kids. He becomes a stay-at-home dad. He's obviously made enough money. It's great. And
he did do a voice role in Brother Bear. Was something
he
I read
did.
That,
yes.
Which was 2000.
And then he came back for the Mint Mobile commercial with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, well,
which is pretty special.
We all remember the best short film of the Oscars from that year. Weirdly going to that commercial.
It's a good ad. He gets marketing. He does it very well. I'll stand up for that ad. It's good because it's he's a Canadian treasure.
Okay.
Anyway, his story personally is very admirable and endearing, but it doesn't translate to the film. I'm sorry, Rick.
No,
good for you.
No, I don't think that.
Man,
I think that would be a weird way to come around on Barney's story here. To be like, this makes me think of the real life tragedy of Rick Moranis' life. I'm
fully
aware that the film is full of plot holes. A lot of it is nonsensical.
Yeah, I mean, the roads need to be paved. Oh, you said plot holes.
He did.
Sorry. The thing is, at times they're using forms of what is, I guess, modernized electricity as well. But then you've got a guy that walks around and lights all of the lamps.
Yeah, but they're watching television, and you just go okay, there's TVs, whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
But the garbage disposal.
I wasn't shaking my fist.
Kyle MacLachlan's on a mobile phone at the board meeting.
Exactly. These weren't the moments that made me go, fuck this movie for not having the integrity for its technology to be consistent. The biggest contention I have, Marcus, I think a lot of what you said, especially to do with the nostalgia, the way that movies like this sort of imprint on us when we're young enough. I have films that I watched a lot that I sort of look back on now and go, maybe that's not that good, or maybe it is for me. It has a special place in my heart, yada, yada, nostalgia. I don't think this movie does a very good job of appealing to its core audience. Its core audience, it's a family film, right? It really is a glaring sort of cartoon that's meant for adults to kind of be like, oh, I remember that show and the kids will like it. Mm-hmm. And I could imagine just a lot of people coming out of this in 94 and now being like, I'm really confused as to what would the kids have found fun in this, and what were the adults meant to attach onto? Because the humor is not of the humor of, oh, these are some little jokes for the adults that the kids aren't going to get, except for the fact of Halle Berry, just furiously horny for John Goodman. That's the one bit in the movie that you're like, this is so out of place. Nothing else is like this in the film, but she wants to fuck him. And
the chemistry it's so interesting.
Just his tie doing the boing,
I think it's kind of, to your point, Tom, this movie is kind of aimed at 13-year-olds.
I think even younger. I mean, I think it has, like, it's got an extended sequence where a kid yells "Bam Bam" and, like, trashes a place and, like, throws things over his head. And, like, I think all that's just meant to be dumb slapstick. And
I know we shouldn't shit on kid actors, but they're bad kid actors. They are terrible in this.
I think there's a version of this
I think he's Swedish
that tries
and he
to
can't
be more
speak
about
English.
the kids, and that would have been disastrous. So
Yes.
I'm glad it didn't matter. Like, I didn't care about the kids. The movie doesn't either, right? But yeah, I don't think that there's a lot in this on the scale of fun, quippy, like the closest thing to a quippy sidekick when you think about movies that have like a talking animal is like a neurotic, really, actually bird that you're just like, fuck this guy, fuck this dictaphone little dweeb. Like, I hate this
Harvey
thing.
Korman, who voices the Dictabird, iconic voice, sure, but you're also like, I get annoyed at Fred for being like, dude, listen to the bird. You need this
that's true as
advice,
well.
man. Like, Fred, you're such an idiot. I find you hard to latch onto as a lead. Also, Halle Berry, she's fake. What's the word? Seducing Fred.
Yes.
And then turns around and she's like,
you were going there.
she turns around at him real quick. She was like, so your wife, I can see why she loves you. And you're like, you're trying to ruin this man's life. Like, you can't warm to him already. Like, slow down.
Can I tell you something? Most human moment in the film for me, without a doubt.
100%.
When they sit down in that
place.
boardroom and she goes, you really love your wife, don't you? And he goes, yeah, like, I remember the first time I meet her, it was an all-you-can-eat buffet night.
Yeah, she
had to clean me up. Yeah. I look at her every day and I wonder, what's a beautiful woman like that doing with me? And I'm like, yeah, Goodman can fucking do this in his sleep. This is actually really beautiful and sweet. You always forget it's Fred Flintstone.
Oscar winner Halle Berry and Oscar nominated John Goodman, right?
Never nominated for an Oscar. It's a fucking thing we'll get into next week. It's a travesty.
I apologize. I thought he was nominated for Monsters, Inc. That's fine. No. So, do we want to talk about, speaking of Oscar winners, do you want to talk about Elizabeth Taylor being in this?
Yeah, obviously. Let's put the respect on two-time Academy Award winner Elizabeth Taylor at this point.
What in the shit is she doing there?
What in the shit
What
is
in the
Pearl?
shit?
I
Pearl
find that to
Hagluble?
be that's the most jarring thing for me, is seeing her in this because it just doesn't fit. It doesn't work.
Because it's stunt casting, and she's there, and she's like, "I'm Elizabeth Taylor," and she gets a Cartier watch the day she arrives on set, and you're like, "Guys, what? Like, you're casting normal actors. Why isn't this just a normal? I don't know. It just felt oh my god, Elizabeth Taylor in this children's movie that they don't know who she is. They don't care. I don't even care."
Also, where is Hank Azaria when you need him?
Yeah, Hank Azaria wouldn't have been out of place here.
No.
He would have been 12.
Nope, 94. He was well into the Simpsons run at this point.
He would have been 22.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know Hank Azaria's birthday.
No, but it's just,
Four's a big difference.
When was he in the Birdcage? When's the Birdcage?
The Birdcage is the mid-90s, isn't it? Maybe 97?
Yeah, well, he was only 2 in the Birdcage.
Yeah, well, that's it.
He looks pretty young in the Birdcage.
It's just his pregnant mother with Hank written on her stomach in the Birdcage, right? Look, I think that Elizabeth Taylor being in this movie is one of those things that by the time it rolled around to her scene, I was like, sure. Like, again, it was not something that broke the movie for me. I was like, okay, Elizabeth Taylor's in this. She's bug-eyed and fucking going for it. Like, you cannot say she phoned it in. Did she give a good performance? How dare you? Of course she didn't. But she certainly did not arrive on day and just kind of look at her hand where she had it. She didn't do a Brando. She actually
went
performed.
For it. And she she allowed herself to be tied up, laid on the floor, stepped over, trapped.
Funniest scene in the movie. Fred Flintstone
Not
going,
fun.
oh God, think of something. Dream bubble, her getting eaten by a dinosaur. I laughed at that. I was like, where's that shit been the whole movie? That's hilarious. That's a genuinely great joke and a good visual. I liked that a lot.
I feel like I'm verging on giving a really good example of what could have made this film better. Based off of what you're both saying, because you've just made a very good point, Tom, but I think there is a version of this film that could have leaned into it being almost more of a piss take of the concept itself. Mm-hmm. And really not to parody it in an SNL way, but to find those moments that could have made this far funnier and made a mockery of, in a weird example, more, how Life of Brian really just took that era with Monty Python, I mean, and just made a joke, a very clever joke about everything. And even in their most Monty Python silly way that they do, it's still effective. I think that maybe this could have had that treatment.
Sure. It would have been edgier, definitely, like kind of Frank's point there. I mean, the tricky thing is, I don't know if it's necessarily accurate to say that it's a satire on American life, but like the Flintstones is at least lampooning American. Well, the whole point is it's like, look at the way people lived, 50,000 years ago, or longer, like hundreds of thousands of years ago. Joke, they actually are exactly the same as us. They have the garbage disposal, and they have a car, and they have this. It's just like for the rock age, or it's for the before Bronze Age, right? And I think the fact that it's already doing that and doing piss take with American culture makes it hard to then skewer it any further. Like, what's the added joke beneath that?
What I think they could and should have done more is, Tom, to your point of like the bubble, the dream bubble. It's like they didn't really parody or play with hey, this used to be a cartoon.
That's a good point.
A lot of it is kind of like, for lack of what we've said before, it's actually kind of based in reality. And you're like, maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it should have been sillier. Maybe it should have been much more far-fetched.
Yeah.
Riding a dinosaur, I don't know what they needed to do there, but like the only sort of big cartoon thing is when Rick Moranis gets on the catapult and gets flung into the wall. And you're like, okay, that's funny, but like do more of that.
And it's like you guys say, the practical effects or the practical like actual set decoration or art design and whatnot, the animatronics are there. I think a lot of the time it looks nightmarish, like in the kind of Cat in the Hat way of just, this doesn't look real. I'm kind of like always looking at it from this perspective of like almost everything's too bright or I've got a concussion. And then when it cuts to shots from far away, I'm like, that just looks like the fucking Arrested Development house in the middle of the desert. Like there's just nothing there. It's just a bunch of...
That's true, it does.
It always kind of grabs me that way. I rewatched the Spice Girls movie the other day, which I know sounds like a totally random bootlegger. But like... That movie is
there goes
better
that idea for next week.
Yes, well, that movie is way better than I thought it was, and it took me a while to come around on it as I was watching it because it's very unhinged. And as much as it's not a great film, it does go like, fuck it, they meet aliens. Like, fuck it, they go to the club with their pregnant friend and they perform at the club. Like, fuck it, they have fantasies of what they'll be like in 10 years when they're all pregnant and they're all mums. And it's all really silly, but it feels like people going like, yeah, like joyously we could do that. And I didn't feel many moments in this film of that joyous.
So not even
we could
like
do this, we could do this.
At the halfway point of the film, they go, fuck it, we've got the B-52s, let's just do a dance. Like...
The B-52's playing is great. I really don't like that montage at all. The really like cursed theme song version that's sped up and remixed, and they're going shopping everywhere. And I was so, that was like Spider-Man 3 to me, like that whole Tobey Maguire coming out. I just think it's so off-putting and not at all fun. It feels really, really... like kind of manufactured and inorganic.
It felt like, like you can reminisce with like the Joel Schumacher Batmans when they're in the jungle party and then Uma Thurman shows up and you're like, okay, it's very camp, it's very silly to an extent that breaks my suspension of disbelief. And I'm like, why are they doing the twist? And it also it reminds me so much of the shockingly bad... dance around like a crazy elf from Harry Potter. You know that song where they're dancing at the ball from Goblet of Fire? Good Harry Potter film.
Yes.
It just feels like one by everyone's metric.
Well, it's like, back in the day when like Prince would write the Batman, so there's like a single that goes with every movie. Power of Love from Back to the Future. All these movies had songs that went with it. They weren't just like...
The song from Con Air, Marcus.
Don't want to miss a thing. No, that's Armageddon.
No, that's from Armageddon.
Sorry.
How do I live without you?
And it's played about 8 times.
As it should be at my funeral. Like, that's the perfect song.
Danger Zone, Top Gun, to continue.
Yes.
So it's like they went, well, we need a catchy song at the B-52s. Let's do a dance. And it's like they tried to make fetch happen. It's like, just don't do that. You're not this type of movie that's going to have cultural weight.
No.
But maybe they're taking the piss of that. Maybe they're, lampooning that. But I'm like, are they? Because it doesn't feel, because... I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about that.
Like Conga Pete in The Mask.
You mean Cuban
Pete?
Did I say
call me Cuban Pete? I'm the
That's
king
the
of the
one.
rumba beat. But that's amazing. And that's also...
And that turns into a whole thing. Right?
And it's the magic of the mask.
And you're saying
like,
it doesn't land.
It
doesn't land the same way.
Should I rewatch The Mask? Is this what we're...
It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
I haven't seen it in quite a while, and I was just transfixed with Cameron Diaz the last time I watched it.
Let's not do The Mask next, but that will be a fun watch still.
Yeah, let's do The Mask sometime. I mean, it's going to be 10. It's going to be 3:11, so it's like a bit awkward to talk about. Okay.
Tom, do you have a pantry on this one?
I do. I have a little pantry on this one.
All right, let's play the song.
In a pantry with a mic. The Butler's Pantry.
What a great song.
Yeah. Who knows if that was in the right spot there. I think the weirdest...
He still doesn't understand how it works.
Not really. I'm just trying really hard not to sing it.
Hey Tom, all we're asking for you to do is just be quiet for a second. I think that's...
I literally don't understand. I have no idea what you just said.
Butler's Pantry, go. Sorry.
Okay. I think the weirdest thing about this movie is that it kind of is a Tim Burton movie that Tim Burton didn't make.
It's colourful Tim Burton.
Very much so. And like, even the way... Here's the best version of this movie. It's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which is a movie I think we talked about when we did the Batman movie last year, the original like Tim Burton Batman, and I hadn't seen it, the Pee-wee's Big Adventure movie before, and I went and saw it at cinemas. And I was just blown away by like, God, Tim Burton's not my guy, but this is great. Like, this is every out-of-the-box, over-the-top, like, suburban America, hyperactive, day-glow, and really, really, like, sugar-high, just guy going wild across all of, like, the notions of going into a bikie club and almost getting beaten up, but doing, like, a really cool dance that brings them around. Like, you know, getting stopped by a trucker and going with her, and she turns into, like, a stop-motion crazy lady, and eventually making a movie about your exploits, and then everyone goes and watches it at the end. At which point in this film, I was like, literally, this is doing Pee-wee. Like, they all watch the movie at a drive-thru. That's what they do in Pee-wee.
It's like Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah, I get it.
You're absolutely right.
It's like Tropic Thunder,
I guess. Yeah. It's at a certain point, guys, we're just saying shit. Like, I don't really know
I don't know what we're doing here.
Anyway, it very much obviously is aping Edward Scissorhands in certain ways. Like, where it is doing that over the top sort of super affable and amicable American domestic suburban attitudes, but it's just taking them to this really cartoonish extreme. And I don't love Edward Scissorhands. I've never been a big Edward Scissorhands guy, but I get what is successful about that movie, and I get like how it is able to reveal something that's a little bit sinister and a little scary, but also funny and quite charming in its process. And I don't think this movie manages that, because the other thing it's trying to do is kind of be a Looney Tunes throwback 50s, like, kind of golden age movie in some ways, with its humor and like its kind of over the top Americanness, which is what the Coen brothers were also doing at this point in The Hudsucker Proxy, a movie that came out this same year and is also this really over the top, has a similar plot. We need to hire a guy who's the head of the company for a while so the stock goes down, and then we'll buy it all back and we'll win. Like it has the same idiot plot as this, but it has that really strange like pastiche element of, well, we've seen so much Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and we've seen so many talkies from the 30s and 40s, and we've seen so much like Chaplin and Keaton and Lloyd slapstick. What if we mesh it all together in this weird kind of like hyper-real, fucking fractured lens of American culture? And I think where Burton is better at that. Frank, you know, we don't love Burton, but I like him okay. Marcus, you're bigger on Burton than we are. But Burton does that, and the Coens do that really well, and I just think this movie lacks a central point of view, a good comedic steady hand at the script, or anything that feels like love or affection coming from even the performances. I think the performances are serviceable. I got the feeling that Goodman was sort of at gunpoint during it, and a lot of the other parts of it don't feel like they get at anything of staying power. I just kind of, it wafted over me, and when it was done, I was like, that's a weird relic. It's an interesting relic.
I would agree with you. I've never felt very strongly about the narrative or the writing in particular. I've never walked away from watching this and going, line. Like I can't really quote this film at all. In fact, but But again, it just brings me a level of joy that I don't feel I need to explain to others or myself. Yeah. That being said, I understand we're doing this on a podcast, and that is quite literally the point.
It's an interesting thing when you've sat with something for so long and you're like, why does this work for me? You know, it's tricky.
To me, this was... At times, I need a film like this in my archives, my library, to be able to put on and to really... truly just shut my brain off and just have a moment of joy that I don't have to think anything about.
That's absolutely fair. I think, I experienced that to a degree. Like I was laughing and chuckling the whole time and had, a fine time. But the problem is, to Tom's point, a few things like, they're sort of crowbarring in the Yabba Dabba Doo. It's like they almost forgot to do the catchphrase and they did it a few times. Like, oh, of course. And he freezes in the air and you're like, oh, sure. Twinkle Toes felt a little crowbarred in. There's like these references, right? And it seems like maybe there's too many cooks, or there's a bunch of line chefs, but there's no actual chef. There's no one really... like you think
I think that's
Spielberg...
a better way of describing it.
Spielberg, as producer, you think would have been like, no, this is the vision and let's bring it... Because he's an auteur, and like I think he would have had more control over Brian Levant, the director, than anyone else. But
the line chef's analogy works for me, Power, because it to me everyone is on the same page in this,
and everyone's cooking a fine meal,
say what
right?
You want. They're all that's right. I think that there is something a little misguided about maybe the overall delivery or the overall sort of goal, I guess, with this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like they're cooking
which I
different
do
orders.
get. I don't think I agree with you when I say that kids wouldn't find a level of enjoyment out of this. I think that kids could watch this and enjoy it because they don't have to think about it. I think that they can watch this and just enjoy the silliness of the moments and not be worried about... You've got to remember, we're all in our 30s now. We're looking at this so differently.
Mm-hmm. This is true. We're very mature.
Obviously.
It's a conversation for another time. But... that's probably the only point I'm not really agreeing with you. I think that regardless of how this lands and what its overall goals were, I think kids would enjoy this. I think this is something that I would, if I was babysitting a kid for someone, right? If I was babysitting Freddie, for example, I would put this on and I would.
Well, he's named for the movie, so that's unfair, obviously.
It is his namesake.
Yes.
But I'm convinced that he would find something of some sort of level of enjoyment out of this. And it's not something to write home about.
Yeah, you might not be wrong. It's no Cars, but it is it might be a quality film for kids. I mean, if you like it, Marcus, then that's obviously good for kids. That's great. Should we do a quick recast, Thomas? Should we?
The only thing I was going to say there is just
trying
to
to
mention Cars.
Remind you. Yeah,
yes, of course, the 55. The selection that kids have available now makes it so that a lot of that stuff that we watched as VCR classics that we only had access to so much in the 90s, maybe this works for a kid now, but I did find myself thinking while I was watching it, and even looking back now, I'm like, whole stretches of this are just characters kind of like having conversations about what's going on at the where are they? The ravine.
The quarry.
The quarry, and conversations in boardrooms, and conversations about like, well, Barney's being mean to me, and I
think it might work for like a 10-year-old, like a 9-10-year-old.
Yeah, I think like a 6 or 7-year-old, which doesn't have to be the metric. A 10 or 11-year-old might, but a 6 or 7-year-old, I think, would just walk away from this movie. I think they'd be like, "There's not enough weird, funny shit happening in this."
Yeah, that's also a problem with the media landscape today for kids content. But that's not a thing we need to talk about.
Obviously, a thing as well.
All right,
recast.
Let's jump into recast. I'll play the song. Yeah. I forget how it goes. It's been so long. I think it goes like this.
Recast. We're gonna change up the cast. Oh my gosh, it's recast.
I guess
you guys, I can't hear anything.
Is that done? Are you playing? Can you play for you? So you think Dana Carvey should be Barney Rubble?
No. Well, actually...
Dana Carvey did play Dino in this, so I think it would be weird if he was doing double duty.
Maybe. If this got made today, I promise you they would give it to Jack Black.
Yes.
Barney Rubble.
I think...
Oh, maybe, but I
that's
think
not it. Well, they give The Rock Fred Flintstone. They make Jack Black Barney Rubble.
I think they would definitely attempt a Fred Flintstone with a Jack Black nowadays. Whether that's my pick, probably not. I still think...
I don't think he would say
Jim
yes
Belushi.
to that.
I mean, I don't know what Jack Black's saying no to right now. You go ahead and list me the things that he's not fucking doing. Like,
it's almost like you could almost make this a Tenacious D movie and just have Kyle Gass as Barney Rubble as well.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see that.
I think Dana Carvey would be excellent as Barney Rubble.
Okay.
There is got to be someone else.
Who do I think? I just had someone for Fred Flintstone. Oh.
I think.
Fred.
Oh, it's
Josh
it's
Brolin.
Who's Adam Sandler's good friend? Who's Mall Cop? Who's Paul Blart?
Paul. Yeah.
Kevin James.
Not Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
Kevin Smith.
Kevin
Kevin
James.
James. Jesus Christ.
Kevin Hart. Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Kevin James would probably be a good Flintstone. That's true. He's
I
one
think
of our last burly guys.
Tom Holland would be Barney Rubble for me.
I think Tom Holland would be
Holland's-
Bam Bam. Let's be real. Like, he's still got
good.
the boyish looks for a
Yeah.
Bam Bam, I think.
In fact, do you remember that movie they did? It was something BC, and it was Jack Black and Michael Cera.
It was year one.
Year one.
Year one, that's
what
it.
a terrible, terrible movie. Oh my lord.
I never saw
That's
it.
kind of what this would be if it was made today, I think.
If we're making a dark, gritty version of this, you put Cillian Murphy as Kyle MacLachlan's character,
Oh, 1,000%.
right? And he's like, we need
1000%.
we need an imbecile. I'm an Irishman. And he's got his big eyes.
And Sydney
What would his
Sweeney
own-
as Halle Berry's character.
Oh, but Halle Berry can act. This is like...
I know.
Halle Berry
Agreed.
is pretty
Got that on
pretty
record.
damn good in this, honestly. We didn't talk
I
about
think
this
she is too.
in the pantry,
When's-
but we
I
should
mean-
say that she talked about how this is one of the breakout roles for her. And everyone for a while was like, that's very sweet. You know, it's a weird movie. And she's like, you don't understand. Getting cast as a black woman in a role in 1994 in the Flintstones, where it was meant for white women, and white women had been offered the part. Sharon Stone was originally offered the part, and it didn't go to her. But they kept the name Sharon Stone, which is actually kind of funny.
It is
but
funny.
she's just like, there was nothing in the script that said must be a black woman, and she's like, in '94 that was crazy that I got that role. That was a really big deal for me. So I always love that whenever it comes up, she's like, I like that movie, and I'm like, yeah, fair, totally fair.
She's a
that you have, like,
trailblazer. She always has
affection
been.
for that. Halle Berry's the best. Love Halle Berry.
Even in Catwoman, I don't think it's that bad. We should revisit that.
I haven't seen Catwoman. I saw Crime 101 this year, and she's probably the
Frank.
best thing about it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I've
it's
not
not
seen Catwoman, so I feel like...
I've seen the
why did you
basketball
say-
scene against Benjamin Bratt on YouTube maybe 7 million times, and it's pretty great, but I haven't seen the rest of it. I think James Gandolfini as Fred Flintstone, that's only sort of a joke. I am actually genuinely like, if we're going big, kind of aggressive guy who can be really like serious but also weirdly funny.
Yeah,
like
kind of
Gandolfini.
affable.
Yeah, and we
yeah.
forget that Gandolfini, when he's Tony Soprano, is actually hilarious. Like, he is really good at either being intentionally funny or being kind
And
of
then
weirdly.
what's her name? Edie
Edie Falco
Edie
as
Falco
Wilma.
as
Falco
Wilma.
as
It's
Wilma.
weird that he never hosted SNL, and if he had, that would have been a slam dunk sketch. Like, have
Yeah.
him as Fred and have her cameo as
The Sopran
as-
Stones.
right.
Yeah, he only. Yeah, I'm so depressed. he did that.
Flintstones.
That's pretty much. I mean, I think maybe Stephen
Soapstones.
Baldwin as Barney.
The Sopranos? Oh, well, there's something there.
Sorry.
sorry.
Sopranos. But yes, that's the only other one I had. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Yeah, look, I think that's
Stephen
great. I think it
Baldwin.
No,
was-
I do. I don't
well,
disagree.
should we
I
talk quickly?
still
Should we
think-
talk
I
quickly
tr-
about the prequel?
When Marcus, when you first dropped
there's a
this as our
prequel?
option, Viva
Yeah,
Rock Vegas
Viva-
in 2000. You've never seen the prequel?
You've seen the
one with
prequel.
Mark Addy? I've
I
seen
haven't.
that. I definitely saw that as a kid because when you mentioned in the group chat, let's do the Flintstones, I went in my head, the one with Mark Addy and Stephen Ball. And then once I realized there was a John Goodman one, I was like, well, I haven't seen that.
So let's quickly talk about it.
Yeah.
Same
What's it
director,
called? Viva what?
Viva
Rock Vegas.
Yeah,
Of course it
Bryant
is,
Levant
Yeah.
is back as director. The production value, I think, has gone up. It looks
Well-
good. It's got a better rating. Stephen Baldwin is Barney Rubble. Mark Addy, who you might know. Tom, do you want to talk about him? Is he Uncle? He's Mark Hamill's
Uncle
uncle.
what?
He's-
What the fuck are you about to say?
He's Uncle-
fucking Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones. I
Oh,
mean,
who
that's what you want, right? He's also in Full Frontal or the Full Monty. And
He's in Star Wars,
He's
isn't he
in,
played-
He's in Knight's Tale as well. He's like one of Heath Ledger's squires.
Jane Krakowski's Betty.
Kind of great.
Amazing casting.
Kind of great.
Wowzers.
I don't remember the movie that well, but I do remember
Alan
like
Cumming. What is this cast?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen this.
And Stephen Baldwin, it's probably some of his best work in Viva
Stephen
Rock
Baldwin.
Vegas.
I remember thinking as a kid, wow, he's really giving it his all. I was really into how committed he was with Barney Rubble.
It's funny
His
because
haircut is atrocious.
Yeah, he looks bad.
He looks bad. He's also trying to be like, he's trying to have big arms and he's trying to be like muscular Barney Rubble, and it's like,
I remember him doing the voice more though. I feel like Rick Moranis is just like, yeah, Fred, I want to do that. And Stephen Baldwin's like, damn, Barney. Like he's really
Rubble.
Have you seen Stephen Baldwin and Pauly Shore in Biodome?
I've seen like 20 minutes of that movie.
Exact same character.
I woke up in hospital. Like, I don't know what
That's
happened.
one of the funniest movies of all time. Kylie Minogue is hilarious in that. Let's quickly talk. Is anyone going to throw anything in?
I really like the garbage disposal. when he opened the door, it reminded me of The Fifth Element when Gary Oldman just randomly brings out a baby fucking elephant that's like paddle pop rainbow flavored.
Yeah.
And then when Fred Flintstone opened the sink and there's a little guy in there who's just like, ah, and he pulls the fork out. And then later when they pull him out screaming and replace him with a younger pig. And then when he sees the pig under the bridge later and it's like, Fred Flintstone! It's like, that shit's kind of that's one of the more interesting beats of the movie.
Stronger plot point, for sure.
Pretty much that pig and Elizabeth Taylor being imagined getting eaten by the dinosaur were things that, and the B-52s. Yeah.
Before I give you my MVP, I just want to say, Frank, and this is for your benefit only.
Of course.
I think the orangutans' performances in this film are still better than Harry Styles in Don't Worry, Darling.
I find it hard to argue with that because the orangutans...
Because it is good. That's not incredible. There's good monkey acting.
He hides his test from the other guy. Like, he's a genius.
When he puts his arm
over.
He's
like, don't look at my test.
And he takes, they take the baby and walk away with the baby.
That's, by the way, Cheryl Lee Ralph as the adoption lady, who's like a Broadway legend and also in like Abbott Elementary and all that. Yeah, like quite a big actress just in that role.
Wowzers. Yeah. This is a tough one for me. I love Barney in this. I love Rick Moranis in this, should I say. Mm-hmm. Halle Berry is the most grounded in this film. I think she's a great performance. I don't think she gets enough to do. And I think that in a way, because she's playing it a little safer than the others, to me, it just doesn't feel like she's on the same page. And that's not saying that she's doing a bad performance. I think that she's doing a good performance when others just weren't at the same level. It's
a different layer thing, right? Like at the different levels of when someone's up at this terrain that's kind of the upper crust and someone's at the bedrock. And like she really, I think, has found her way down there. Like,
he just wanted to say bedrock.
I just, like 20 seconds ago, I was like, I've got a thing.
Wow, I'm glad you got to get it out. It was really good.
I think I want to give it to... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to give it to Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Who you haven't barely mentioned all episode. It's interesting.
I think she's great. Every time I watch it, I think she's just that right balance of doing both parts really well. I think she's just really endearing, really fun. I like her giggle in it. I think
giggles, it's bang.
I think it's too easy to say John Goodman. Otherwise, I'd say Rick Moranis. I don't know. This is a funny one for me.
I'm going to go Kyle MacLachlan is my MVP. He's mincing around, eating scenery.
He's enjoying himself.
He's devouring it, in fact. He's funny. He's good, and he looks great. And it's good to see him do something, because all I know him from is Sex and the City, so it's nice to see him actually do some funny acting. Good for you, Carl.
Him and Barry are absolute snacks in this, for sure.
They are. They work well off each other. Yeah, I think Barry. I think Barry's the one I come away from just being the most fascinated by as this being such a crucial point of her career. And the camera fucking loves her. Like, she just exudes a sort of allure, which she needs to for this role that I think is misplaced in the film, but I still appreciate it. But it is just weird how much of a sex work.
I hate to draw the same comparison, but she does the film a service in a way that Cameron Diaz does to The Mask as well.
I think, all I remember about that movie is Cameron Diaz, and I don't even know if her performance is that good, but I would disagree
with that, because, yes, they both look great, but Cameron Diaz is wooden. She cannot act in the mask.
That's my memory, that she's not that good in it, but every shot of her, you're like, no one has looked this good. Like,
but Jim Carrey looks great in that movie. It's like, but then he's hilarious. So like,
yes, but you have to believe Jim Carrey looks good in that movie to feel good about yourself, Frank. So I think that's like a bit of a...
All right, I'll take it.
That was a little mean.
Thank you.
Just to know that anything's possible, Frank.
I can
Jay
get
Leno
a
was in
scary
this.
green mask.
That's dumb.
That is dumb. He's dumb. I hate Jay Leno.
Yes, I'm going to throw in.
Okay.
8.1 is maybe a bit steep for this. It's been
a little generous.
I have. It is generous. I have said myself that I do have the rose tinted glasses on, and there is a very heavy level of nostalgia sort of driving this for me.
Yeah.
Objectively, this film is weak at points, and generally when I'm looking for stronger narrative and stronger performances and stronger writing in films, it even blows my mind that I like this film as much as I do. So I think a fair
Nostalgia's
score,
a hell of a drug.
It is. It's a hell of a drug, and I will happily drop this down to a 7.
Okay.
Wow. Thomas, you gonna throw anything?
No.
Oh.
No, I appreciate the conversation. It's an interesting one.
I thought you would have. I will. I'll throw a little bit. I'll go up to a 5. I think. I mean, I did laugh the entire way through, so I'd have to be insane to think it's really, really bad.
There's got to be a reason why you're laughing through it. Like, even if you're laughing at it, I feel if it brought you some level of happiness and enjoyment,
some level of joy, right?
That's a win.
I thought it was weird, Frank, for us to be on identical scores, us to find that, and then you're like, here's the thing, I'll admit it, laughed more than I've ever laughed in my entire fucking life. Funniest movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, okay, it's
funny that
like we're on different pages here.
That's okay. I mean, you can, because that's the thing. You can laugh at dumb stuff and still think it's dumb, right?
I liked Barney going. Barney going. Lemon, cherry, Rocky Road, and that being the last ice cream flight. Like, I like that joke as well. That they held that as the last one. I thought that.
What about when they're going to get lynched together?
Yes, I'm getting lynched, Barney.
Hectic finish.
He says the word lynched.
Thank you for listening to Throw in the Power. My name is Frank.
My name is Marcus.
My name's Tom.
And that was the Flintstones episode. Send us a DM at Throw in the Pal on Instagram and Gmail, throwinthepal@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, all the things you want to do. Please give us a comment. Tell us if you think Stephen Baldwin is better than Rick Moranis. What do you reckon?
No, absolutely not.
Tough call.
You're an absolute joker.
Rick Moranis wasn't in The Usual Suspects.